Meet David. He's 54. He earns $112,000 a year. He has a good job, a decent house, and a driveway with 2 cars, one of which he's still paying off. His kids are mostly through college. His wife works part-time. On paper, David looks fine. But David's 401k has $187,000 in it. At his current savings rate, he'll retire at 67 with roughly $340,000. If the market cooperates, if he doesn't touch it, and if nothing goes wrong between now and then. Financial planners generally recommend having 10 to 12 times your annual salary saved by retirement. David would need $1.1 million minimum. He's going to fall short by roughly $760,000. David doesn't know this yet. He's been meaning to sit down and run the numbers. He just hasn't gotten around to it. Now meet Marcus. Same age, same city, same industry. Marcus earns $94,000, $18,000 less than David every single year. His house is smaller, his car is older, he doesn't have a boat in the backyard or a home renovation project perpetually in progress. Marcus has $631,000 saved and invests 22% of every paycheck without fail. By 67, Marcus is projected to retire with $1.4 million in investable assets, plus a paid-off home and 0 consumer debt. He'll likely never worry about money again for the rest of his life. Same decade of life, same career stage, same neighborhood practically. One man is quietly on track for financial freedom. The other is quietly on track for a crisis he doesn't yet see coming, and won't, until it's almost too late to course correct. Same decade. Completely different destinies. And the reason has nothing to do with how much either man earned. It's a story about a specific set of financial traps that disproportionately catch men in their 50s. Men who've spent 30 years building a career, raising a family, and doing what they were supposed to do, and who now find themselves closer to the edge than they ever imagined possible. If you're between 48 and 59 right now, what I'm about to share may be the most important financial conversation you have this year. If you're in your late 40s or 50s, you're living inside a very specific financial paradox. You're earning more than you ever have. Your career is at or near its peak. The chaotic years of building, the starter home, the young kids, the entry-level salary are behind you. By every external measure, things should feel more settled now. But there's a quiet unease that doesn't quite go away. Maybe it shows up when you glance at your retirement account and do rough math in your head. Maybe it's the creeping awareness that your company isn't as stable as it once seemed, and that finding a comparable job at 56 is not the same as finding one at 34. Maybe it's the realization that your kids cost more than you expected for longer than you planned, and that the money you were going to start seriously saving, you just haven't yet. Here's what makes this decade uniquely dangerous. The 50s feel like a reward era. You survived the hard part. You earned the nicer car, the kitchen renovation, the vacations that are actually comfortable rather than just affordable. Society validates all of it. Nobody tells a 53-year-old man with a good income to pump the brakes. But the math doesn't care about validation. If you're 52 with $200,000 saved and you need $1 million to retire comfortably, you have 13 years to close an $800,000 gap. That is still doable, but only if you start treating this decade as the sprint it actually is, not the cruise it feels like. Every year you spend coasting is a year that gap compounds in the wrong direction. The window is open, but it won't stay open forever. Here's what the financial industry will never say plainly. The decade when men are most capable of building serious wealth is the same decade most carefully engineered to drain it. Peak earning years coincide perfectly with peak spending pressure. The bigger house you grew into, the cars that match the career level, the kids' tuitions, weddings, and occasional bailouts. The lifestyle that expanded quietly alongside the income, so gradually you never felt it happening. Banks profit when you carry balances. Car manufacturers profit when you upgrade every 4 years. The entire consumer economy is calibrated to make your 50s feel like the time to finally enjoy what you've worked for. Because enjoyment, in their language, means spending. Most men never discover that the 50s are actually the highest leverage savings decade of their entire financial life. Compound interest works both ways. Money invested at 52 still has 15 years to grow before a traditional retirement age. A single year, of aggressive saving at peak income can do what 3 years of saving in your 30s couldn't. The math heavily rewards people who figure this out before 55. The problem is that nobody advertises it. There's no product to sell you. There's no commission in telling you to spend less and automate more. So most men find out too late, or never find out at all. Let's get into the actual numbers because this is where most conversations stay vague, and vague doesn't help you. The core problem is the gap between income and savings rate, and how brutally that gap compounds over time in the wrong direction. Take a man earning $100,000 at age 50 with $150,000 already saved, investing 8% of his income, $8,000 per year. At a 7% average annual return, by age 67, he'll have approximately $430,000. Against a recommended retirement target of $1 million for his income level, he's short by $570,000. That shortfall doesn't feel real at 50. It feels catastrophic at 67. Now, take the same man. Same starting point, but he increases his savings rate to 20%, $20,000 per year, and cuts his lifestyle spending to make it work. Same 7% return. By 67, he has approximately $820,000. Still not at the full target, but the gap dropped from $570,000 to $180,000. A 12 percentage point shift in savings rate cut his retirement shortfall by $390,000. That's the mechanism. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is the only variable that actually matters, not your investment picks, not your market timing, not whether you chose the right fund. The spread between income and expenses invested consistently is what determines whether you're David or Marcus. Here's where it gets sharper. Every dollar of lifestyle spending in your 50s carries a triple cost. First, you spend the dollar. Second, you lose the compounded growth that dollar would have generated. At 7% over 15 years, $1 becomes roughly $2.76. Third, you entrench a spending habit that will follow you into retirement, where your income drops, but your expectations don't. A $1,500 monthly lifestyle upgrade at age 50, a nicer car payment, a club membership, regular upgrades to things that didn't need upgrading, costs you $18,000 per year in spending. Over 15 years at 7% compounded, that's approximately $450,000 in lost retirement assets. That one decision, made quietly and comfortably at 50, is worth nearly $500,000 by 67. The math doesn't punish big dramatic mistakes. It punishes the slow accumulation of comfortable ones. Let's follow David and Marcus from age 50 to 67 in real numbers. At age 50, both men are in the same position. $150,000 saved, homeowners, kids nearly through school, careers stable. David earns $112,000. Marcus earns $94,000. David has the higher income by a meaningful margin. Everything that follows comes down to one thing: what each man decides to do with the gap between what he earns and what he spends. From age 50 to 53, David gets a promotion at 51. His salary jumps to $118,000. He and his wife decide this is the moment to finally do the kitchen renovation they've been planning. $47,000 financed over 5 years. They also upgrade both cars. Monthly expenses increase by roughly $1,800. His 401k contributions stay at 8%. He's saving $9,440 per year. Marcus gets no promotion. His salary increases modestly to $97,000 by 53. He drives the same car. His kitchen has the same cabinets it had in 2019. He increases his contribution rate to 22% and sets up an automatic transfer of $800 per month into a brokerage account. He's saving and investing approximately $21,340 per year. By age 53, David has approximately $242,000 saved. Marcus has approximately $412,000. From age 53 to 57, David's kids finish college. He helps his younger son with $22,000 toward a down payment on an apartment, a decision he feels good about and doesn't regret. He and his wife take 2 international trips totaling $18,000. His savings rate stays at 8%. His balance grows slowly. Marcus's daughter gets married. He contributes $15,000 toward the wedding. He takes one international trip. $7,400. His savings rate doesn't change. His automatic transfers don't stop. By age 57, David has approximately $318,000 saved. Marcus has approximately $631,000. The gap is now $313,000 on $18,000 less annual income. From age 57 to 62, David feels the unease now. He runs the numbers for the first time seriously and doesn't like what he sees. He increases his savings rate to 14%, a real sacrifice that strains the household budget. His balance starts growing faster. Marcus does nothing differently. He keeps investing 22%. His balance crosses $900,000 at age 61. By age 62, David has approximately $487,000. Marcus has approximately $991,000. From age 62 to 67, David pushes hard. He cuts expenses further. His savings rate hits 18% for the final stretch. He and his wife have difficult conversations about expectations. It works. Partly. Marcus crosses $1.4 million at 66 and retires a year early. At 67, David retires with $640,000. Marcus retires with $1.47 million. David's $640,000, drawn at 4% annually, generates $25,600 per year. Combined with Social Security of roughly $28,000, he has $53,600 per year to live on, in a lifestyle built around $90,000 of annual spending. The gap will require dipping into principal. His money at that withdrawal rate runs out before he reaches 82. Marcus draws $58,800 per year from investments, collects $24,000 in Social Security, and lives comfortably on $82,800, below what his portfolio generates. His money doesn't run out. It keeps growing. Same starting line, completely different finish. The entire difference built from thousands of small decisions made across 17 years, none of which felt dramatic at the time. So let's talk about what Marcus actually did differently. Here are the 7 rules that separated his outcome from David's. Number 1, calculate your actual retirement gap today, not someday. Take your target retirement income and multiply it by 25. That's your required nest egg under the 4% withdrawal rule. If you want $80,000 per year in retirement, you need $2 million. Now subtract what you currently have. That number, the gap, is the only financial figure that actually matters to you right now. Most men in their 50s have never calculated it. Calculate it today. Write it down. Everything else follows from knowing that number. Number 2, treat your 50s as a sprint, not a reward lap. The cultural script says your 50s are when you finally enjoy the fruits of your labor. The mathematical reality says your 50s are the last high-leverage window before retirement. Every dollar invested at 52 has 15 years to compound. Every dollar spent on lifestyle upgrades at 52 is gone, permanently. You can enjoy your life and run this sprint simultaneously, but you cannot coast and close a large retirement gap at the same time. Pick one. Number 3. Stop upgrading things that still work. The average American man replaces his car every 4 years. Keeping a fully paid-off, reliable car for 9 years instead of upgrading at year 4 saves roughly $35,000 to $50,000 per vehicle cycle. Applied to electronics, appliances, furniture, and recreational equipment, the no unnecessary upgrade rule can free $15,000 to $25,000 per year in a typical household. That money invested at 7% for 12 years becomes $280,000 to $470,000. Not upgrading your kitchen is worth nearly $500,000. Number 4, define enough before your lifestyle defines it for you. Decide in advance what your retirement lifestyle actually requires. Not what sounds impressive, not what your colleagues are planning, what you specifically need to feel comfortable and free. Most men who run retirement shortfalls never made this calculation. They just kept living at the ceiling of what their income allowed and assumed the future would sort itself out. Write down a monthly retirement budget. Work backward from it. Know your number before your spending knows it for you. Number 5. Measure your wealth in options, not objects. The man with $900,000 in liquid investments can leave a job that's grinding him down. He can take 6 months off to handle a health crisis. He can start something new at 61 without needing it to work immediately. The man with the same net worth, locked in a big house, 2 cars, a boat, and a renovation in progress, has almost none of those options. Liquidity is freedom. Possessions are the illusion of it. Every major purchase you make in your 50s is a trade. You are exchanging optionality for ownership. Ask yourself honestly whether that trade is worth it. Number 6. Automate the gap before lifestyle absorbs it. Willpower is not a saving strategy. If the money hits your checking account and you decide each month what to save, lifestyle will win. Not because you're undisciplined, but because that's how human psychology works. Set up automatic transfers to your 401k IRA and brokerage account on payday. Make the investment happen before you see the money. Then, live on what's left. This single structural change, not a new investment strategy, not better stock picks, is responsible for the majority of the gap between men who retire comfortably and men who don't. Number 7. Run the lifestyle multiplier calculation on every major purchase. Nothing you buy in your 50s costs only what the price tag says. A $45,000 boat carries insurance, storage, registration, maintenance, and an appropriate towing vehicle, often adding $6,000 to $9,000 per year in ongoing costs. A pool adds $3,000 to $5,000 annually in chemicals, maintenance, and energy. A vacation home adds property tax, insurance, upkeep, and management fees that routinely exceed $20,000 per year. Before any major purchase, calculate the full ecosystem cost, the item plus everything it requires to own. Then calculate what that money would be worth at retirement if invested instead. The comparison is almost always clarifying. Picture 2 versions of yourself at 70. The first version made a few hard decisions in his mid-50s. He ran the numbers, didn't like what he saw, and changed course. He kept the car an extra 4 years. He skipped the renovation that wasn't necessary. He automated 22% of every paycheck into investments and stopped pretending he'd get to it eventually. It wasn't a dramatic transformation. It was a series of quiet choices that most people around him never noticed. At 70, he wakes up on a Tuesday with nowhere he has to be. His investments generate $61,000 per year without touching principal. He travels when he wants to. He helped his kids without bankrupting himself. When his wife needed an unexpected surgery at 68, he wrote the check without anxiety. He is not rich in any flashy sense. He is free in every meaningful one. The second version kept coasting. The 50s felt fine. The money was there when he needed it. The retirement account would catch up eventually. It always had. At 70, he's still working, not because he loves it, but because stopping isn't an option. His $310,000 in savings generates $12,400 per year at a safe withdrawal rate. Combined with Social Security, he has enough to get by, but not enough to absorb anything unexpected. One bad year, one health event, one market correction, and the math stops working. He is not destitute, but he is not free. And somewhere around 67, he did the math he should have done at 52 and understood exactly how he got here. Both futures are built from decisions made in the next 5 years. The gap between them isn't income. It isn't luck. It's whether you ran the numbers, told yourself the truth, and decided that freedom at 70 was worth more than comfort at 54. The math has already told you what to do. The only question left is whether you'll listen.